Mario Day, everybody! You know, March 10th, Mario Day. Everyone knows what Mario Day is. I shouldn't even need to explain it. It is the day where we celebrate Mario, and honestly, there's a lot to celebrate because since this is the last year of the Nintendo Switch, if you missed last week's video celebrating it, by the way, I highly recommend you go watch it. There are a bunch of great Mario games on the system that I honestly have to recommend you get if you haven't gotten them already. We're gonna go through game by game, and I'm gonna give little details about why you should get this game on the Nintendo Switch if you don't have it already. But I actually also want to hear from you. What are your favorite Mario games that are currently out on the Nintendo Switch? Let me know down in the comments down below. I truly appreciate to hear what you have to say. So without any further ado, if you enjoyed this video, definitely make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, hit that notification bell so you can be notified of whenever I upload videos. And if you want to, you can become a ZakPak member. It'd be really cool to have you around. You can get special emotes for when I'm doing live streams. You get your little name added to the end screen, all that fun jazz. So if you want to become a ZakPak member, check the description down below. So, without any further ado, let's get right on into it. The first game I want to talk about is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This is actually the first Mario game to release on the Nintendo Switch. And honestly, really freaking solid one to start. Not only does this game bring all of the base content over from Mario Kart 8 from the Wii U, but the amount of content it adds with the Booster Course Pass. We got like 48 new tracks. We got like, I want to say around 10 to 12 new characters and so much more. We got custom items and stuff added in. This game just takes Mario Kart 8, which was already a decently solid game after all the DLC was added to the Wii U version, and just upped it by a million. It fixed the battle mode, which for some reason they changed in the Wii U original, and honestly, everything about this game just makes it the perfect Mario Kart game. Now yes, Mario Kart 9, or 10, whatever you want to call it, has already been announced, and we know that it's coming, so if you want to wait for that one, I completely understand, but given the variety of content that this one has, this game is just so good that I honestly still recommend you get this one, even if you want to get Mario Kart 9 in the future. But I'm pretty certain a bunch of people already have Mario Kart 8. You guys probably already have it. And what I'm going to do also is here are the prices that you could get this game for as of today, because there's a bunch of Mario Day sales going on today, and in case a certain game is on sale, I want to be sure that you guys can see what you could pick it up for. So if you want to get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I really do highly recommend it. Let's tackle some 2D Mario right now. Honestly, it was really dry for most of the Nintendo Switch's life, until 2023 when we got a little game called Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Honestly, this game was such a breath of fresh air compared to the new Super Mario Bros. Series that we've had in the years past. Not only does this game have a fresh new art style, new music, but it just added in so many unique things that makes it stand out severely above the new Super Mario Bros. Line. For example, you could play as so many different characters. You got, of course, the main crew, Mario and Luigi, but you also get Peach, Daisy, the Yoshis, Nabbit. There are so many playable characters to choose from. It's honestly really cool to see a mainline 2D Mario game get that much in terms of options for characters. Like, it's unreal. And then, as I mentioned, the visuals in this game are just so unique, going for a little more of a cartoony, comic book kind of approach, as opposed to the kind of now stale, generic look that we've gotten used to with 2D Mario games, and it is so refreshing. And then, of course, you have the Wonder Flower elements, which adds so much visual variety to each stage, and it's just an amazing game, an amazing 2D Mario, definitely the best 2D Mario, in my opinion, that we've had since the Super Nintendo days. Like, that's how far I'm going back. So I really recommend you pick up this game if you're a fan of 2D Mario. Also, I do believe that Super Mario Bros. Wonder is on sale. I do believe that you can get it for a cheaper price. So honestly, if you were really on the fence because of the fact that it was a $60 title, I do believe you can get it for cheaper because of Mario Day, and I really recommend you get it, like I said, if you're a fan of 2D Mario games. Mario has been around for 40 years, which is absolutely crazy, but I'd say that Mario wouldn't be where he is without his little brother Luigi helping in. And Luigi actually has 2 games on the Nintendo Switch, being Luigi's Mansion 2 HD and Luigi's Mansion 3. Honestly, both of these are really fun games. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is an HD remaster of the 3DS game, Luigi's Mansion 2, or as we knew it in America, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. And then Luigi's Mansion 3 is the new entry for the Nintendo Switch, where Luigi's exploring a haunted hotel. Now, honestly, I could really recommend both of these games if you're a fan of the Luigi's Mansion format, which is you're walking around these nice haunted locations, sucking up a bunch of ghosts, and trying to save your brother Mario. It's a really fun series. Honestly, I have my complaints about the newer entries, but I still think that both of these games are games that you should get on Nintendo Switch, especially with the fact that I'm certain Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is actually $40 right now, on sale, 25% off. And I think for $40, it's worth it. It's a pretty decent remake of a pretty decent game, and if you're a fan of Luigi's Mansion, I recommend it for $40. I'm not sure if Luigi's Mansion 3 is on sale, but even if it isn't, for a $60 title, this one has quite a decent amount of content, it's visually stunning, and it's just a really, really fun game. I highly recommend it for any fan of Luigi's Mansion, and if these two aren't in your collection yet, they are a little more of a niche franchise. There's something, they're quite an acquired taste. They're not the standard Super Mario fare, but they are very fun in their own right, and I do recommend them. I'm gonna lump these next 3 games into a category I'm gonna call the family category. Games that you can play with your kids, because Mario games are, of course, anyone can play them, but I'm choosing these games specifically because I feel like they'd be great if you have kids. Now, if you have a singular kid, I would say a really good one to give them, especially if they're a little bit younger, is Princess Peach Showtime. This is a very simple, very easy, very standard 2.5D puzzly kind of platformery, not really platformery game. I haven't beaten it, so I can't say everything about it, but what I do love about the game is that there's actually quite a bit of charm packed into this one. The mini games were quite fun, and honestly, I do think, even though this is an easier title, it is one that you can definitely get your kid. Obviously, you know, since Princess Peach, your daughter may be more a fan of this one, but hey, if you're a guy, nothing wrong with liking Princess Peach, and I think it's a really solid one. I don't know if this one's on sale, but if it is, then obviously you're seeing it right now, but I think that this is a really solid one to have. If you have a kid and you'd like to play with them, then I'd actually recommend Yoshi's Crafted World. Yoshi's Crafted World is actually kind of a forgotten one, just because it isn't a game that'll blow you away, that won't blow your mind. But if you have a kid and you want to breeze through a kind of easier title with them, I think you can't go wrong with Yoshi's Crafted World. It's simple platforming. If your kid's having a hard time, you can just have them ride on your Yoshi's back, and it's actually a pretty fun title. Again, I'm not sure about the price of this one for Mario Day, if it's on sale, but I do recommend it. It's quite a fun, charming game for you and your kid to potentially play. And lastly, this is a game I'd recommend if you have more than one kid, and maybe they're a little bit older. Not necessarily in that young category where games need to be kind of easy, where you need to get their feet wet, but more so if you have kids that might be in the adolescent age and just want to have a bit of fun. This is where I recommend the WarioWare games. WarioWare Get It Together specifically, I think is a really fun one because it changes the formula of WarioWare and actually makes it very unique from the other games in the series. First of all, you don't need motion controls, unlike Move It. If your kids prefer motion controls, then I'd really recommend Move It, but I still think this one's better because I feel like there's just more to do. I liked all the different modes, all the different characters you could unlock. The single player mode is fun as well if you want to play it by yourself, and the party mini games are actually really fun as well. There's the balloon mode from the GameCube one is brought back, and that one's really freaking fun. I feel like, just like with Yoshi's Crafted World, the WarioWare games got a little bit slept on the Nintendo Switch, and I really think they're well worth it, especially if they're on sale. These are really good titles, and I don't even think this is a full-priced game to begin with, so I think this is a pretty decent title to get. So yeah, these are my family game recommendations. If you got kids and you want to play games with them, of course, any of these games will do. Of course, like Mario Kart and Luigi's Mansion 3 will do if you have a kid, but I feel like these 3 games especially really will make your kids have fun, because I think all 3 of these games, fun, easiness, and just being able to relax with your kids. Well, maybe except for WarioWare on the relaxing part. But I think these are great ones to have. You know where Mario really succeeded this generation? Was the 3D platformers. First of all, of course, we got Super Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Odyssey was a great freaking title. You know, I have my complaints about it, but if you want a really good, solid, polished Mario experience, I think you can look no further than Super Mario Odyssey. It's really fun. The capturing mechanic, where you capture enemies and become them and can use their abilities, is one of the most creative ideas that Mario's had in a long time. Like, I'd say since Sunshine, to be honest, with the Flood Pack mechanic. And I think it's a really, really fun one that you can sink your teeth into. And if you are a completionist, if you like the grind of getting all the moons, then this game has a lot to offer. So this is the only new mainline 3D Mario game that came out on the Nintendo Switch, but I'd say it is worth a pickup for sure. Not only that, but we also got a remaster of Super Mario 3D World on the Nintendo Switch. But you see this little thing on the bottom here? That's Bowser's Fury, a new mode added to the game, which is its own standalone experience, and it is really freaking good. I'd recommend it for the Bowser's Fury mode alone, where you're taking on a giant, monstrous form of Bowser. Really freaking good stuff. But, of course, this is another thing where you can play with your kids. Well, Super Mario 3D World is just a really solid Mario 3D platformer. It's not as open as something like Super Mario Odyssey. It's more in line with what the 2D games offer, but in a 3D space, and I think it's really good. I think this game has a bunch of content and is well worth its price, but if it's on sale, I do recommend picking this one up. I mean, obviously, you can play 3D World with your kids, or you can play Bowser's Fury by yourself, or let your kids play that. It's a really freaking good title. Now, this last title is going to be kind of an asterisk one, if you can find it, because this game is no longer on shelves anymore, but it is still really good. And that is the Super Mario 3D All-Stars combo pack of 3 classic 3D Mario titles, being Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. This one is freaking great. I honestly love all of these games for their own reasons, and being able to have them all physically on the Nintendo Switch, not through some NSO app, is honestly really nice and really refreshing. Super Mario Sunshine especially, I feel like really, looks good on the Nintendo Switch, and even with Super Mario Galaxy, where, obviously that game on the Wii required motion controls, I feel like they did a good job of accommodating for it, when playing in handheld mode, or if you just don't want to use the motion controls. They just really accommodated to that really well, and I think they did a great job. Like I said, this game you can't find in stores anymore. I don't think. They took it off the shelves officially in 2021, but it lingered for a little while after that. But if you can find it for a decent price, don't overpay for it, don't pay $1 bajillion for it. I recommend this game wholeheartedly if you're a fan of the classics. So yeah, like I said, 3D Mario did exceptionally well on the Nintendo Switch. I recommend all of these titles, and I hope that you get to play them before the Switch 2 comes out, because I'm pretty sure we're going to get another 3D Mario game this year. You know what Mario genre also did really well on the Nintendo Switch? The Mario RPG games. Any Mario RPG you can think of. And I kind of want to start with the Mario RPG that started it all, literally called Super Mario RPG. This is a remake, a full, ground-up remake of the Super Nintendo Classic. And oh my god, this is such a great remake. I really, really enjoyed this one. The art style, they maintained a lot of the charm that was in that original Super Nintendo game, but just transferred it to the Nintendo Switch and just made the game look gorgeous. It's super fun to play. The battle system is just as fun as it was before. All the characters still got their charm and their uniqueness, and it is just a wonderful title to play through. If you're a fan of more core RPGs, I really recommend this one. I don't know if it's on sale, but I'd even say if it's not on sale and you just want a really good RPG experience, I really recommend this one. Yes, it's a remake, but I think it's a dang good one. Speaking of dang good remakes, I can't go without talking about the Thousand Year Door. This remake, while not as drastic as Super Mario RPG, is still freaking amazing. Being able to play an HD, widescreen, polished version of the Thousand Year Door on the Nintendo Switch This is a great RPG with great characters, a great story, lots of charm, lots of fun, a fun battle mechanic, great bosses, just everything about the Thousand Year Door is amazing. It's hard to go into these kinds of things without going into spoiler territory, but honestly, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is an easy recommendation for me. Now, of course, there are these two, but I also have to at least shout out the new Mario RPGs that came out on the Nintendo Switch, being Paper Mario the Origami King and Mario and Luigi Brothership. And they're good in their own way, honestly. I do like each of them for their own things, but if I'm gonna really recommend RPGs, Mario RPGs for you to play, it's gotta be these two. If you beat these two and you want another one, I would say definitely play those other two, but I think these two are the star children of the Mario RPG family on the Nintendo Switch. Alright, let's dive into some Mario sports games. Now, this is actually a category where I had a lot of trouble because I'm actually not the biggest fan of any of them, really. I kind of think, no pun intended, that Nintendo dropped the ball with the Mario sports games on the Nintendo Switch. But if I had to pick one that actually is kind of fun looking back on it, it's got to be Mario Tennis Aces. This one has got actually some decent popularity. You know, lots of people still play it. Lots of people play the online. It's got a really solid character roster after the post-launch updates added a bunch of new ones. There's some really good courts in there. It is a really fun game. The only downside to me is the story mode. I feel like the story mode kind of lacked, in my opinion. I wish it was like the RPG story mode of the older handheld entries, but I still think it's a pretty solid game. I really do recommend it if you're a fan of the Mario sports games. There is Mario Golf and Mario Strikers. Honestly, I can't recommend them. If you want to play them, I'd say, at least with Mario Golf, play the N64 one on the N64 Online if you have the expansion pass. But in terms of the new Mario sports games, Mario Tennis Aces is kind of the best of them. Like I said, with Golf and Strikers, there's just not a lot there for me to really recommend those two games, but with Mario Tennis Aces, there is some stuff to really like about it, so if you want to pick it up and if it's on sale, I do recommend it. Though this is actually going to be the one title here where I say if it's not on sale, I would say wait for it to be on sale, but if you really want a good sports game that has Mario in it, then I do recommend this one. Last but surely not least, I'm going to be talking about the Mario Party games. This is the most interesting discussion. Now, I'm actually going to talk about all of these Mario Party games, because I have reasons to recommend all of them and to not recommend all of them. So, here we go. Now, I'm going to start off with the one I recommend the least, and that is the first Mario Party that released on the Nintendo Switch, being Super Mario Party. This game brought a lot to the series, actually. It brought us the biggest character roster in the whole entire series. It brought quite a few decent modes, like the River Survival mode and the Rhythm mode and all of that, and there is some decent fun to be had here. For me, the main thing that holds this back is the force motion controls. Now, honestly, if you like motion controls and you like that kind of fun motion control party, you know, kind of game, I think you could play this one. I think you could do worse, you know, in terms of party games. It's still got a lot of that Mario Party charm, just with not as much content. With the fact that there's only 4 boards for you to choose from, there's definitely not much here, but with the vast variety of modes that there are for you to play, I still say this is a decent one. This is one that I'd say that I'd really recommend you wait to get till it's on sale, or at least try the other 2 Mario Party games before you try this one, because at the end of the day, 3 $60 titles is $180, which is a lot, so I would say wait on this one and try out the other 2 first. The next one I want to recommend is Mario Party Superstars. Now, this one is a best of collection, choosing some of the best boards, as much as I don't agree with that statement from Nintendo, but according to Nintendo, the best boards from the original 3 Mario Party games, along with the top 100 games across the series. Again, don't necessarily agree, but it is a really fun title. It brings classic Mario Party back. If you missed the classic Mario Party from the N64 and GameCube days, this is it. This is the game that you're going to like the most out of these 3. It brings back the most classic Mario Party feeling mechanics, being, you know, the fact that stars are 20 coins again, it's got pretty fast-paced gameplay, and it's just a really solid Mario Party game all around. I really recommend this game for the Mario Party enthusiasts out there. There's a lot to love about this one. They really started to put the charm back into Mario Party with this one, and I really like it as a nostalgic collection of older classic Mario Party titles. And my highest recommendation for this video has got to be Super Mario Party Jamboree. Don't let the title fool you, being that it has the same branding as the original Super Mario Party. This Mario Party game is basically a combination of what Super Mario Party did, as well as Mario Party Superstars. The board gameplay is more akin to that of Mario Party Superstars, where there's some really classic feeling boards, including 2 actual classic boards, which these 2 choices are actually really freaking solid in my opinion. With over 110 mini games to boast, it's got so much content packed in there when it comes to the party mode and the mini games. But it also brings a lot of the stuff that Super Mario Party had that Mario Party Superstars didn't have. Like, it brought back the rhythm mode, it brought back a co-op mode, not River Survival, but it brought in Bowser's Kaboom Squad. It brought back the Coinathlon of all things from Mario Party Star Rush, which is now called the Koopathlon mode, and it just has so much content packed in, including 22 characters, the most of any Mario Party game. It's just got so much content here. The only thing I'd recommend Superstars over Jamboree is the fact that Superstars, I think, has better minigames just because of the fact that it shows some of the best from the previous titles, but also the fact that it's a little faster paced. This one is a slower paced game, you know, the turns take a little bit longer, there's more to think about, there's more strategy, and I think, you know, as much as I prefer Superstars in terms of the pacing of it, the slower pacing of this game does not hinder it, in my personal opinion, at least that much. But of course, this is a really solid title. I highly recommend it. This is one of Nintendo's newer titles, so it might be on sale. If it is on sale, then I highly recommend you grab it. It is one that you definitely want to play. So yeah, with the Mario Party games on the Nintendo Switch, even though I was really kind of not happy with Mario Party on the Switch at first because of this game, I've actually warmed up to this one because of the existence of these 2. Because all 3 of these games, while yes, being Mario Party at the end of the day, they're all very distinct from each other in a lot of core ways, meaning that you might have a preference among these. It's actually very easy for someone to be able to make an argument for why any one of these would be their favorite on the Nintendo Switch, just because each one of them does different things. And I do recommend all of them in their own sort of way, depending on what you like. If you like the classic formula and are very strict to it, I'd say pick Superstars. If you like the classic formula but want to see it evolve, pick Jamboree. If you want something more carefree and fun and not as competitive, but has a decent amount of content to put in it, as well as motion controls, I'd say go for Super. But you can't go wrong with any of them, really. So there you have it, guys. Those are all the Mario games I recommend on the Nintendo Switch. If you don't have any of these, then you got some games to play, my friend. You got some really good freaking games to play. I love all these games in their own sort of way, and because of the fact that it's Mario's 40th anniversary, I'm really happy with the output we got on the Switch, and it's really fun to be able to celebrate not only Mario Day, but the 40th anniversary by talking about all these games. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like I said, comment down below what your favorite Mario game is on the Nintendo Switch. I mean, for me, the Luigi's Mansion games will always be in my heart, but the Mario Party entries on the Switch as well were really strong for me as well. And as someone who has missed that since the GameCube days, it's really great to see Mario Party and Luigi's Mansion just do so well on the system. So, you know, on top of all that, definitely drop a like and, of course, subscribe. All that stuff down below. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified of when I upload videos, and consider becoming a ZakPak member. Get cool emotes, get your name in the end credits, all that kind of jazz, and I would truly appreciate it. And, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you all in the next video.